I'll just follow on from our previous speakers about poor legislation being the enemy of practical planning. Australia at the moment has about 11 million empty bedrooms. So that's enough for whoever wants to live in Australia and their kids and probably their kids' kids. But if you want to lease out your bedroom or an empty room in your house, you'd have to take that money from that person who you're probably leasing it to relatively cheaply, add some of your own money and go and give it to your accountant. And that's so the tax office doesn't say you're a criminal. So here we are. It's great to be in front of community advocates and essentially better planning advocates. And we're all here today because we've all seen the LMR policy roll in. I was optimistic when it got announced. I saw more density near town centres and I was excited by the affordable housing incentives. After all, it's the government's job to put out good legislation. And in most jobs, if you show up and you don't do a good job, well, you might get a warning and then that will be the end of you. I don't know if the state government has those sort of arrangements. However, the hopes of LMR delivering better affordability across Sydney were dashed pretty quickly. One of our early DAs in Mosman proposed the demolition of 4 townhouses and 12 1- and 2-bedroom apartments. Instead, we were going to get 27 luxury apartments, and only 6 of them infill affordable housing. We were losing the suburbs' most affordable housing. As time went on, we realised that this was not an isolated incident. It was happening all across Sydney. It turns out the more affordable housing for people to buy is also more affordable for the developer to buy and knock down. So here we are. We've got a policy that's looking like it's going to fail at its very aims. For something to be considered affordable for the LMR and SEP and unlock that 30% uplift, it's an apartment that needs to be rented for 15 years at 80% of the market rate. This needs to be adjusted to 30% of the household income. Thanks to those older apartments in Mosman that have all been optioned by developers and soon to go, our median rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is $880 a week. 80% of this represents something doable. Now we go over to Woollahra, where our median rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is $1,000 a week. We're starting to see the problem with this policy. Now over to Waverley, where the median rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is $1,168. Any glimpses of genuine affordability are dashed. They're not there. So, the SEP's affordability criteria are failing to deliver genuine affordable housing. That's something we would have hoped the state government would have addressed and perhaps thought of when coming up with their policy. The affordable house, we are removing affordable by design and affordable by nature for affordable by policy, and it's only for 15 years. There are already programs being administered by councils where developers opt into a voluntary planning agreement. These councils are using these agreements to develop affordable housing in perpetuity and build their own stockpiles. We're in this situation because under both sides of government, we have seen Australia's social housing stockpile decrease. We now lean on the property developers and their goodwill to make us affordable housing and to save us from the rental crisis. And that's all from me.